Today on the Travel Magazine, we will visit two of the world's greatest natural waterfalls, Niagara Falls, Canada, and Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe. Deep in the heart of Africa, thunders one of the 7 wonders of the world, Victoria Falls, Zimbabwe. Hi, I'm Jake de Boer and welcome to this edition of the Travel Magazine. This breathtaking waterfall has awed visitors, locals and explorers ever since it was first discovered. When David Livingstone, the original explorer, first laid eyes on it, the natives called it the smoke that thunders. One of Africa's greatest rivers is the mighty Zambezi, and a late afternoon cruise is an excellent way to enjoy it.
For national park. Now, either side of the river is being linked by 2 national parks. What is mostly found on the Zambian side are giraffes, zebras, and
So, in fact, nobody can swim on the Zambezi River?
No, nobody can.
Because there are enough crocodiles to kill you. At the end of the day, visitors take away unforgettable images of the mesmerizing power and beauty of a sunset reflected on the waters of the Zambezi River.
One of the most spectacular views you'll ever see in this part of the world as far as scenics go. You never quite know what to expect. Once you get over there, you'll be totally awed by what you see. It is something that I never get tired of, certainly never get tired of seeing every time we fly over there.
Like most of the country's natural assets, the falls are delightfully undeveloped, and all there is to detract from the natural state is a footpath that allows you to wander through the rainforest from vantage point to vantage point.
The most important thing obviously is the falls, but when we leave, some people are very lucky. In fact, most people are lucky. We see a lot of elephant and buffalo. Those are the bigger animals which stick out more so than does so the impala or the smaller game. But you will see those animals if they're around.
These magnificent game parks offer a chance to experience some of Africa's last great wilderness regions. The elegant Victoria Falls Hotel has been a featured landmark almost as long as the falls themselves.
Cecil John Rhodes had a pipe dream to bring his railway from Cape Town to Cairo, and it reached here in 1904. And that was the beginning, of course, of the tourism trade, and it was the beginning of the Victoria Falls Hotel.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Victoria Falls Hotel. My name is Ordwell. Thank you for coming.
Started off in a very humble way. It started off with only 16 rooms, 12 singles and 4 doubles, under corrugated iron, and it was just a little wooden shack, as it were, but luxury in those days. It's progressed from then. Eventually those humble 16 rooms was demolished, but as the tourists began flowing into here, we extended and it began to grow. We added on wings. It's developed into a large, gracious hotel of 138 rooms. King George VI and Queen Elizabeth came here with the 2 princesses, as they were then, Princess Margaret and Princess Elizabeth, in 1947. And they took over the whole hotel.
So I'm really interested, actually, how people react to Victoria Falls, and after they've seen it, you know, what do your guests say?
I think they're just enchanted. I think it's better than most people's expectations, especially at certain times of the year. It's after the rainy season and it's just spectacular. And I can just imagine how David Livingstone felt in 1855.
With tourism on the increase, more and more luxury resorts are opening in the area. In the local craft market, bargaining is a way of life. And I thought that I'd teach Mika a thing or two about bargaining. After all, it is a fine art. What is it that you're interested in?
I think I would like to have, you know, this mother and child.
Yeah.
Because it's made here by the local artists.
Okay, how about an elephant?
Well, I like the arts. You know,
Okay, well, let's see.
Well, let's see who gets the best price.
So, Roy, how much do you want for this?
$65.
65.
Because it's white cotton is too expensive.
I'll give you $6 American. Make it 7.
7?
Yeah.
It sounds to me that you're a little bit high, so I will start off with 30 Zim dollars.
No, you can make it like this. Give me 60 Zim.
You've only come down 5 Zim.
Okay, 75. We split from 8 and 70.
I'll give you $7 American. Is that a deal?
Okay, 52.
No, make it.
So that's a good call.
I will make it 43 then.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a deal.
Okay, 48 Zim.
No, 46.
48. Just make it 48.
You know what?
Yeah.
How long did it take you to make it?
2 days to make.
2 days to make it?
2 days.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to give you 50. You're entitled to $50 for 2 days' work. Is
Yeah.
that fair?
That's fair.
Okay.
Well, people do come here to see traditional dancing. This is what we show here. We have 4 groups actually who do perform traditional dancing. The first group is the African Folklore Marimba group. The Shangan are a very warlike people. They are an offshoot of the Zulu, who broke away from Chaka, the great king, and came north and settled in the eastern districts of this country, Zimbabwe. And as you will see in their dances, they are very warlike, vibrant dances. The Makishi are a very mysterious and superstitious people. They wear very elaborate costumes which each individual makes for himself because they don't want anyone to identify who is in each costume. And women are not allowed to take part in those dances except by helping and clapping in the background. They perform dances like the crocodile and the fisherman. This is just an example where the fisherman goes out setting traps to catch fish, and he is attacked by a crocodile. This is their way of trying to show the young men how to fend for themselves, but also to be very careful while they do this.
It is said that the world's greatest whitewater rafting starts below Victoria Falls, where the narrow Batoka Gorge compresses a mountain of water into a whirling mass of rapids and whirlpools. We'll be back with more of the Travel Magazine right after this, so stay with us. The romantic magnetism of Niagara Falls has made it one of the world's greatest attractions. For over 200 years, the sheer majesty of the falls has attracted everyone, from pioneers to jet-setting celebrities, earning it the reputation of the honeymoon capital of the world. If you were living in Paris and you had enough money to either go to Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe or Niagara Falls, Canada, which one would you go to?
You can't compare that. Niagara Falls is a little bit more commercialized and Victoria Falls is in the wilderness.
With elephants roaming around and monkeys and you name it.
And this is totally different.
But isn't there a tremendous difference in the number of people you have? Victoria Falls was very quiet. Niagara Falls, because of tremendous population around here, has more people. But it is beautiful, huh?
It is totally different. This horse, you can look at this all here at once.
Yeah.
And in Victoria Falls, you have to walk for 4 kilometers to see the falls in bits and pieces. And here you can stand and you can see it all.
I, of course, don't want to start an international debate here, but if you ask me, no way about it. Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada gets the #1 pick. Well, I think you get the best view right from the very brink of the falls at Table Rock. That's where you can stand literally right on the edge of the falls and look at the water from 4 Great Lakes descend over a little cliff we call Niagara Falls down below and into the lower river and exit into Lake Ontario. Niagara Falls consists really of three falls. There's the American Falls, and then there's the Bridal Veil Falls, so named because of the bridal veil shape, and then the Canadian or the Horseshoe Falls, again because of the horseshoe shape. I'll tell you that about 1 million bathtubfuls of water per minute go over that falls. That's 100,000 cubic feet per second. So whichever way you describe it, it's a lot of water. The Maid of the Mist is a sightseeing trip. It's been operating since 1846. It's a boat that goes from both the Canadian and the American shore and goes right up into the shoe, what we call the shoe of the horseshoe, and you get wet. It's probably one of the highlights of a visit to Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada.
And if it is one of the highlights, that's just what Mika and I decided to do. Don our blue rain gear and ready ourselves for an exhilarating trip to the base of the falls.
This is the honeymoon capital of the world. Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada has more honeymooners, we think, that really enjoy their honeymoon than anywhere else. We also have all the amenities that go with it, the nice rooms and of course the beautiful surroundings, the gardens, and you can get lost in the crowds here at Niagara Falls. So we are the honeymoon capital of the world.
Back with more of the travel magazine just after this, so stay with us.
We have a big park that extends from Lake Erie to Lake Ontario, 56 kilometers of beautiful parkland maintained by great work people, and the Parks Commission employees are probably the biggest asset because we have lots of love in our park, and that really adds to the love that the honeymooners bring here when they come here on their honeymoon.
Niagara-on-the-Lake is often called the loveliest town in Ontario. It has a long and distinguished history which parallels the growth of the province. Today, over 200 years after its founding, Niagara-on-the-Lake attracts thousands of visitors who stroll the streets, dine in quaint restaurants, or visit nearby wineries.
Niagara-on-the-Lake was originally started by John Graves Simcoe, who was the first Lieutenant Governor of Upper Canada back in 1792. War of 1812 to 1814, the Americans burned down the town, and what you see now is remnants of that have been rebuilt, and we moved on.
But the Americans are welcome.
Oh, they're our best tourists.
Oh.
We're getting back at them. We're taking their dollars.
The Prince of Wales Hotel across the street.
Yes, lovely hotel. Years ago that was run down, was an old beer garden, so to speak, like there are in many towns. Someone had the presence of mind to realize what was going to happen in Niagara-on-the-Lake, purchased it, remodeled it, and expanded upon it. And what you see today is a lovely, lovely hotel, reminiscent of what the era was back in the 1800s. The theater is primarily what's made Niagara-on-the-Lake what it is today. We have the main theater and two smaller theaters that all show George Bernard Shaw's works and his contemporaries. In other words, works within the years that he was alive. And this is what draws a lot of people to the Niagara-on-the-Lake, is the theater, naturally. Right in what we consider the region Niagara of Niagara-on-the-Lake, there are 9 wineries. They more or less are within 15 minutes of where we're standing right now to get to any one of the wineries. And they vary in size from what we call cottage wineries to the larger wineries, estate wineries. They want people to come and try their wines. So all the wineries have winery tours, and they're various times of the day, and they're open 7 days a week. And you come and they have samples for you to try, and naturally they want you to buy their wines and take home.
Jake, if your back is really bothering you, why don't we go in here and see if there's something for it?
The Niagara Apothecary.
Yeah,
Okay, let's go in.
You never know.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Yes, we are fine, and you?
I'm fine too.
You're visiting Niagara this morning. You've come to the drugstore.
Yes, we are having a nice day in Niagara, but my husband is not feeling so well. Can you fill a prescription for him?
Oh, well, I can't help you. I'm sorry. This is a restoration of a pharmacy. This is the way this pharmacy was in 1866.
I really love this.
Oh, you've hit on our perfume dispenser. People couldn't afford a bottle of perfume or a bottle of cologne, so they come into the pharmacy and they would put their penny in the machine and pull the lever and put their handkerchief under there, and they would get one shot of perfume, and that would do them for the evening.
This would look beautiful in my living room.
Wouldn't it make a nice sideboard or a bar? Hand-carved walnut, Seth Thomas clock, and the apothecary had his little slit through here so he could work in behind, and he could see if somebody came in the door, he would be able to see who came in.
This old antique containers here, that is beautiful.
This is a collection that was given to us for display by the late Lloyd Williams, who was a pharmacist. But during World War II, he collected them in Europe. Some of them are 15th, 16th century.
Well, that's it for this edition of the Travel Magazine. From Niagara Falls in Canada, see you next time.